Hey, what's going on? So I wanted to go over a quick one today on intermittent fasting and why it's changed my life and why I'd recommend you need to get started on it as well. I know the main thing that everyone puts around is it's good for fat loss, it's good for weight loss, eating in a restricted window, but it's not the main reason that I'm doing it. And I'm not even in much of a calorie deficit or weight loss phase myself, but I'm still maintaining intermittent fasting in my life and integrating it into my lifestyle. And it's for the mental benefits over weakness. When you are at the whims of food and you can't control yourself, it's a really weak state of mind and a really weak kind of just an entire kind of thought process to be in. If you can't control yourself for a few hours in the morning to not eat and do something else besides getting out a bowl of cereal, some milk and coffee with sugar in it, what kind of control will you have over the rest of your life if you can't even control those first few hours? Just pushing food just a little bit to show some kind of control, some kind of discipline in that aspect. So I highly recommend you get into intermittent fasting. You don't have to start massively with a 20-hour fast, but at least for the first couple hours of your morning, you should make a point to not eat. Just have some water, maybe your coffee, a little splash of milk if you have to. I do with my coffee, but you need to be doing something else with your morning besides just downing some food, some sugar first thing. Have you gone to the gym? Have you put in any kind of work to earn that food yet? Thousands of years ago, our ancestors had to go out and hunt for that food in a completely fasted state, and yet here we are today. So if it's really broadcasted in the media at the moment, and how things are running, that as soon as you wake up you need to have a bowl of Fruit Loops first thing in the morning, and it's just not the case. If our bodies weren't adapted and biologically kind of wired to do some work first before without any food in our stomachs and function optimally, then we wouldn't be here today. So I highly recommend to challenge yourself, really get into the lifestyle and the routine of it, because it's going to change a lot of things for you. If you're able to just push off those first couple of hours, not only you're gonna feel a lot clearer in the morning throughout the day, but enacting a little bit of willpower over your own kind of desires to want to put some food into your stomach and fulfill that kind of what it is that you're wanting at that time. It's going to trickle down to the rest of your day and all the kind of other actions and decisions you're going to be making throughout the day. So it's really good from that willpower perspective, but also from the mental clarity perspective as well. When I have a big meal, like I feel like I need to sit down, I need to digest, I've got no more fire in me to go and do anything else, because now my body needs to use that energy to digest and focus on that. But if you push off food for, I wake up at 5 a.m, 6 a.m, and I don't have my first proper meal until midday, 11, 12, 1, sometimes 2. I don't have a big meal, and then I'll have a big 1,000-calorie meal to start off my day after I've done some work. I've gone out, I've gone to the gym, I've done reading, I've worked, all these kinds of things. So I've worked on my physical health, my mental well-being. I've pushed my all those kinds of areas I'm pushing forward before I've even had a drop of food yet. All I have is water, coffee to get me through the day, and my body has adapted to that eating and that kind of lifestyle. So now I don't really even feel that hungry in the mornings now. My body is used to it. It's used to getting to work straight away, and it's a really good thing for me, because now I've got all this extra time, not having to worry about food first thing in the morning. When you woke up, maybe you're working a normal 9-to-5 job, and as soon as you wake up, your alarm sets off at 7:30. You got to think about what I've got to eat, and then make sure I can shower and make my way to work. And with intermittent fasting, all these things are kind of pushed to the back burner because you're doing other things. You don't have to worry about your food and when you're eating, and it's really going to help with that kind of time management and mental clarity in the morning. So it's really good for that kind of thing, time management. You won't have to worry about eating first thing in the morning. And it's especially important for that willpower, to show that you have some kind of control over your life. You know, if you wake up and you're immediately shoving food down your mouth, like, you know, what other kind of hard decisions can you make for the day if you can't even get over that little small aspect? So it's really good. I do it mostly for that reason. Whether I'm in a surplus or deficit, trying to build or maintain or lose weight, I will always maintain some level of intermittent fasting in my life, because it comes down to that philosophical aspect and process that I'm integrating into my life. Because I feel really strong every day. I haven't eaten yet. It's 11:15 a.m. in the morning. I've gone to the gym, I've done some cardio, I've done a bit of work, I've posted on social media, I've talked to some people, I've socialized, and I still haven't eaten yet. I'm probably not going to eat for another hour or two, but I'm buzzing, I'm full of energy. You can see me talking. I'm going for a bit of a drive at the moment, but food isn't even on my mind right now, and I've been up for hours, I've done work, and it's not a worry for me. So it's something that your body can adapt to. It's hard in the beginning, I understand, when you're just getting started with it and just getting used to it, but it's one of these things where you need to make the decision about, you know, what kind of, you know, strength behind your decision making capabilities do I have if I can't even push food, of all things, just a couple of hours. There's people in other countries that beg for food, and you get it at the touch of your fingertips through Uber Eats. And you know, you need to enact and push a little bit of hardship into your life to make sure that you have the ability to make those kind of hard decisions and push through those kind of difficult times in your life. If as something as simple as food gets the better of you, then you know you've got something really important you need to self-reflect on and think about what you need to change. So highly recommend, man, that you need to start doing intermittent fasting. It's a non-negotiable in my life now to do it. You know, some days you need to work around it, and of course sometimes I do have a meal before early in the morning because I've got things to do throughout the day and I'm not going to be able to eat until later at night or something. Then in that case I do eat earlier in the day. But you know, for the most part, 80-90% of my time I'm fasted until midday, and that is the standard that I set for myself. It works very well for my life, for my work, socially as well. And it's something that you need to start to integrate into your life, and you're going to see a huge change and huge benefits from doing it. So give it a try, man. Let me know how you go. If you have any questions, feel free to message me, DM me on social media, Instagram, whatever it is, and I can help you out with a few little tips and tricks that I do to kind of maintain it. And especially when I was getting started with it for the first time, it was a huge game changer for my life. It's not just a fitness thing, it is a mental well-being thing. So give it a try, man. Let me know how you go. I'll catch you in the next one.